Mic check. 1, 2. All right, looks like it's working. Think everything's working. Hello. All right, there we go. Mic, okay, mic's working. Yeah, think everything's working. All righty. If everything's working today properly, I should actually be streaming in 4K on YouTube at least. So that's exciting. And 1080p on Twitch because Twitch is being a bit of a pain. So we only get 1080 on Twitch if I'm lucky. Alrighty. So same thing as yesterday. I am going to try and speed run through these paintings and finish them. Granted, I didn't finish a single painting yesterday, but I got close, and an attempt was made. And sometimes that's the best you can hope for. So, sorry, my need to adjust my reference table for a second. One day I'll have a dedicated screen that I is the only screen I use for reference, and it'll always be set up. I'll never have to adjust anything. Camera's struggling today for some reason. Man, the tracking on the camera today is not where it's at. That's funny. Alrighty. Let's just jump into it. I need to set up more hotkeys so I can do stuff on the fly. I mean, this one works, but why is it so I hate that it will not I mean it follows, but it bounces around. It's not smooth. I don't know why. Is it smoother with the regular mouse? I wonder. Oh yeah, that is so much smoother. Okay. Interesting. There's a little distortion happening on this too, I can tell. Like the head is um getting squished a little for whatever reason. Probably because the camera's up at a high angle. But yeah. Oh well. When I work on when I work on images for a long time or paintings for a long time, I'll what's it called? I'll adjust that more, but because I'm doing speed run and I'm going to try and go through multiple paintings, I'm not going to bother. Alrighty. Well, that's odd. My the paint on my palette has actually dried, which I was not expecting. I just realized something. I might try and do this at some point. Um, I can. I can't believe I just thought about this. Theoretically, I could have I could use this one camera, zoom out, and then take the um the what's it called? The the palette, and I could cut it out, shrink it, and put it in the corner. So even when I'm doing some stuff like this, you could see it theoretically. I don't know. I might try doing something like that. I guess it just depends. I don't want to like ruin the quality by zooming out so much, because this zoom is digital zoom. It's not optical zoom. Optical zoom is better than digital. One of the things that I found very well, very interesting, yeah, I guess. One of the things that I learned when I got into digital painting, and it applies very much to oil painting too. I'm not sure entirely where I utilize it more, but given that I oil paint more, I definitely utilize it now as an oil painter more. Um, but that, I guess maybe in oil painting, it's even more important than digital, just because in digital you have all these tools to mitigate this. So what I'm talking about is overpainting. Uh, So there are times where I will paint, you know, quote unquote, outside the lines of whatever it is I'm working on. And I'll have to then go back in after the fact and fix it. And, if you're just looking at it from the outside, that may seem like a total waste of, uh, time and energy to like overpaint something just to have to go back in and paint in to fix it. However, um, sometimes that's really the only way to get the effect that you're looking for. Not saying it's always, but sometimes, yeah, that absolutely is the case. So I only thought about it because I was thinking about this hair here that I don't think I had to overpaint that. That was more a mistake than anything else. But you know, it made me think about it at least. So oh, almost didn't catch that in time. Almost. I once heard an interesting quote. Trying to, for the life of me, I cannot remember the artist who said it or who it was attributed to, rather. Um, the idea was that a painting should be pretty or should look good at every stage of the painting. Um, and I don't know who, like I said, I can't remember who said that quote, but I'm curious how they painted because that is 100% not the case with my paintings. Definitely, they often go through an ugly stage before they look decent. I keep meaning to look that up, but I never remember to. But yeah, definitely not the case for my paintings and a lot of artists I know. So yeah, this is sometimes it just has to go through an ugly stage first. It's kind of part of the process. So the reference I'm using is originally black and white. So sometimes I run into this issue of, which is an issue that you run into in color photos and in paintings. It just it's a it's a problem that has nothing to do with this case. But I'm running into the problem where sometimes things will be the same value, and because I'm using Photoshop help colorize it, uh, and it's just kind of guessing and doesn't know what it's doing, it's also creating like things that are the same value and color. So that's where going in and manually fixing it comes into place. Of course, you can also manually fix it if it's a color photo, you know. Artists shouldn't feel bound by their reference, which is something I struggle with, for sure. And to be fair, if you're actually working from reference, uh, a lot of times if you do just change the color of something, it'll never look right because there's so much like bounced light and the way that we see light and color relative to each other. So it can really mess up everything if you're not careful and don't know what you're doing. So you got to be very, very careful if you change colors of something. However, this painting doesn't suffer from that quite the same way because all the colors are made up to begin with. I mean, some of them are kind of like good guesstimations, but yeah, that's at best. Excuse me. When I guess not just when painting things is small, but when painting, especially when painting, you know, small details of, especially like faces and stuff like that, it is very tempting to go in and grab like the smallest brush you have and just go in and start like painting away. But the reality of it is that, with with exceptions, of course, it's generally just not the best uh, plan of action. It doesn't usually produce the look personally that I would want. And I think for the most painters it doesn't. There's exceptions to every rule, especially in painting. But yeah, um, and it's usually just a waste of time and effort. Not that I'm not spending any time or effort on this. This is still very, very challenging because it is so, so small. You know, I always put my thumb next to it to give an idea of just how small these things are. Uh, Art of Jim. I came here from YouTube. Oh, okay. Hey. Um, Wait, is it Art of Jim? No, it's not Art of Jim. It's Art of J Mill. Do you prefer J or what? Do you have a preference? I'll mess it up probably, but yeah. Is my YouTube, by the way, did you stop at my YouTube? Was it messed up and that's why you came over here? Or uh I had issues in the past, that's why I'm asking. Whatever I want. All right. Um I'll go with J. Or is it or is Jamil wait, is it Jamil? Is that one word? Like that's your name? I'm so sorry if that is. I'm bad with names. You thought talking here would be easier if you were dual streaming. I have both chats open, honestly, so it doesn't matter. But whatever is easier for you. The chat functionality in Twitch is better, but you know, the quality on YouTube's better. It's just a nickname. The J is for Jamie. Okay. Hey Jamie. I'll try and remember that. I may forget. Um my brain has issues with specially written names, but yeah, I'll try. I'll give it a shot. Uh but yeah. How are you doing tonight? Clearly an artist, or at least I'm assuming because I've never met anybody who has art of in their name and not been an artist. So, what kind of art do you do? You really like the painting colors, so I want to see it in action. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. If you want to see the whole painting, I can zoom out for a second. You just draw stuff. You favor either real cute or really creepy stuff. You also favor line art over color because I'm bad at it. And it's, doesn't have to be because you're bad at it. How can I put this? You might not be as good at color as you are with line work because that's where your interest lies, right? Like, I'm better at painting or drawing than I am at 3D art because I'm not really interested in doing 3D art. You know what I mean? So I'm bad at it, but I'm bad at it because I'm not interested. When I saw your paintings, it reminded me of a guy in my drawing class way back. Oh, nice. Yeah. I think it's also interesting. Like when I got into he hated when I colored with black and white. Why? Black and white's fine. Yeah, to each their own. But yeah, nothing wrong with black and white. I used to be I yeah years ago. I originally wanted to be a comic book artist. So I was very much into you know narrative art, sequential art, line work. Mostly, I didn't focus on painting at all. So he did a whole thing showing me the power of coloring with lots of color instead. Mainly black and white are too jarring. I mean, look, like you're going to get a different effect with everything. There's not like that, which is fine. Like it all depends on what you want to do, right? Like, uh, you know, I'm not going to do if I want to paint like the impressionists, I'm not going to grab a, pen and ink, but like, that it's kind of to be expected. Um, don't worry, I'm much more experienced and older now. I get the balance of choices and all that. Oh, absolutely. Well, it having discussions on YouTube like this is obviously challenging, but also I try to combine like talking directly to someone like you, and obviously I'm trying to answer and interact directly with you, but at the same time, because there's a slight lack of knowledge as to who you are and everything, I also do talk a little in generally because people do like watch the VODs after the fact and everything. So yeah, you're currently working on a comic thing in Tyler's Discord. Oh, nice. Okay, that's where you're coming from. Awesome. All right. Yeah. Uh, Westside Tyler is uh, a YouTube channel that I've gotten into a bit, and been meeting a lot of cool people there on his Discord and on his channel. He's had a lot of really good videos calling out AI art related stuff, and it's been a lot of fun meeting a lot of people. You can see some of my stuff there later if you want. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to. I would be. I'd love to. Yeah, it's been a real cool community to kind of get into. I wish I was better at online stuff. I'm not very good at it. Uh, Being part of like a Discord or whatever, but I'm trying. You know nothing about comics, so I figured I would do that while someone else is doing art. Nice. Yeah, I loved comics. I still love comics. I just don't make comics anymore. Although I am probably going to participate in this competition. I don't know how much effort I'm going to make to like, I don't know how much time I have to put into it, unfortunately, but I will participate at least a little. Like I'll sketch something out at the very least. But yeah, time is just always the issue. I recently been working on something related to my YouTube channel, um, and so I have a video I have to make soon about it too. So tell me about this painting. Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is a painting that's in a series of paintings that I'm going to be doing. This is based off of. uh, found photography, and a lot of people don't know what found photography is. It's basically just photography that's been like photos that have been abandoned in some way. The most common thing is like repossession of houses, or repossession of like storage lockers or something like that, or yard sales, stuff like that, where people just buy like photos, or come into possession of photos. They don't know who the people. They don't know who. They don't know who the people in the photos are. They don't know who the owner of the photos are. They don't know where the photos were taken, when they were taken, like just nothing. Hmm? Oh, it's the photo version of found footage horror. LOL. That's my favorite kind of. Yeah. Well, so yes and no. There's no horror, generally speaking. Definitely not in my paintings. I'm more going for my concept on this is shared memories, right? Because like this painting, for example, is you know this isn't my family. I don't know these people. I don't know where this was taken. I don't know what's going on. However, if I had seen this, the original photo, in a photo album, in like if one of my family members slipped this into a photo album of theirs, I would be curious who these people are, but I wouldn't be surprised, right? And a lot of these photos are like that. Like it's maybe not your family members or whatever, but there's a familiarity to it. And of course, not every single one will fit with everybody. There's obviously, but I just like that idea of like shared experiences. So almost like we have a shared memory of things. You said you love finding stuff. So much curiosity on your end. Yeah, no, it's really interesting. So that's the concept behind this series of paintings that I'm working on. You can actually buy found photography images. Like people sell them at secondhand stores or swap meets or even eBay. Yeah, so you can just buy them and they're pretty cheap. They're not all good reference, but they are cheap to purchase. There are some um, legal and ethical things that I am extra careful about when I do these. Um, you know, but you just have to be kind of aware of those things and try to navigate that properly, kind of thing. You have a friend that was going through a relative's old photos, and he's sending me some old photos from the 1800s that are behind a little glass plate. Oh, that's so awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure some of the photos that I purchased are from like the 1800s. Um, I'm looking forward to painting those ones. What's up? I can't right now, but you can put it over here on the table. I'll get to it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for eating it.
So cool. Yeah, no, the photos, some of them are really cool. Some are, boring, which is to be expected. That's why when you buy when you buy them online, you're just buying just like a random box of like photos. The one thing is if you're going to use these for direct reference, make sure they're very old. You don't want to, you don't want to paint someone uh recent, but yeah. Also, legally, there's some weird things with copyright law if you're in America. So yeah, so I'm being careful about that stuff. But yeah, that's the idea of this series. I don't know how many I'm going to do in the series. We'll see. I think it might be like an ongoing thing over the years, kind of thing. I don't know. I I, I do like the idea of it, just in general. So I think that's one of the things. Some artists don't suffer from this. I do. And a lot of artists I know do. They're super interested in a lot of things, so they have a hard time like focusing on one thing. I don't know if you suffer from that too, uh, Jamie, but I definitely suffer from that. I want to like bounce around constantly to all these different things. Yeah, you suffer from that. Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe one for each session. No, I wish I could. Oh wait, for each season. Okay, it took me a second. Yeah, yeah, that could absolutely be cool to like vary them up. Yeah, but yeah, I was thinking just like over time, kind of like keeping it going while also being able to do like different what's it called? Um collections. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, this whole speed run concept came up because I was getting frustrated with how slow I've been lately. Because when I stream, I don't paint nearly as fast as I normally do. And then like today, I'm doing this after work, so I'm not, I'm not painting as fast as I normally do and everything. And I just haven't had time to paint on my own when I'm not streaming. So I've been really slow, and these some of these paintings I've put aside to finish later and never got around to finishing them. So that's where the speed run kind of thing came up. I'm trying to like catch up and get through it fast. You keep picking up crafts to do, cross stitching, sculpting with clay, and drawing currently. Yeah. Yeah, when the day gets busy, it's hard to get into the groove. Yeah, it's hard to get into the groove, and it's also just like, fatigue comes in after a while. There's just, after an 8-hour day of drawing, it's hard to then go into painting and be as nearly as productive. So, stuff like that. It's to be expected. I'm not it's more an internal complaint than anything else. I have this painting that I did. It's a 30 by 40 inch painting I did for a class that I took out here in Austin. Um, and the class was like a 8-week class because the whole idea was to paint a large painting and everything. It was really cool, great class, great teacher, all of it. But towards the end of the class, I was just so sick of working on the same painting. I was just like, I want to be done with this already and move on, or put it aside and come back to it later, one or the other. So that's cool. You have all those different skill sets that you can do, and practice and everything. I think that's really cool. Jack of trades and all that. Ah, but do you know the original quote? I do not remember it by heart, but do you know the original quote? You do? Okay. No, there's more to it. That's halfway. Yeah, that's not the full quote. The full quote isn't Jack of all trades, master of none. It is Jack of all trades, master of none, but there's a continuation to it that I can never remember by heart. But yeah, look it up if you can. If not, I'll look it up in a minute, but you know, that'll be later when I take a break. There you go. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Jack of all trades, master of none, but better than a master of one. That's what it was. Yep. I don't entirely agree with that. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's entirely true. But a lot of times it's true. I'll put it that way. It's not always true. But there's some truth to it. You think when doing a profession, it's kind of not good. But maybe with hobbies and stuff, it depends, right? Like it really depends on the profession too, right? Because some professions having a wider knowledge base sometimes can be more valuable. It really just depends. I understand when you want to get into like when you want to drill down into like real expertise. No, I don't think it's true. But you know, uh I, not everything needs that degree of expertise. Some things do. Don't get me wrong. As a painter, I do want to achieve that, so definitely. Um, and it's really interesting as an artist. I'll say this, like there's been a lot of things I've learned as an artist, and I think I understand them, and I think I have a grasp of them. And then a couple years later, I'll learn them again, and I'll understand it on such a deeper level than I did originally. Um, and I think that is definitely part of being like a mastery of something. Cisco, digging the new color scheme you've been working with. I've seen the last 3 or 4 paintings. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's the paintings. They're kind of what's the word I'm looking for? They're vintage, I guess would be the right word. So I guess I'm kind of trying to bring that in, and also the softness and the what's the word I'm looking for? Like that old feeling of like memories. How big of a canvas is this? This is 12 by 16. We're really zoomed in. This is my thumb. So yeah, it is 12 by 16. I'll zoom out at some point to show you. But yeah, we're really zoomed in here. Jamie says, I like doing all the stuff I do. I emphasize my drawing. So when I do other things, it feels like it helps the drawing too. Yeah. Does that make sense? Absolutely. You bring in all kinds of different expertise and knowledge bases, even unrelated into things, or seemingly unrelated, and that's a very common thing. Absolutely. Cisco says, I started painting again. That's great. Good job. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Working on a ghost painting right now, trying to take some time off work so you can get some consecutive streams going. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's fantastic. Yeah, it is hard to, you know, time is such a challenging aspect of life, unfortunately. Yeah, I get that. I mean, even these streams, like, I wish I had more time to dedicate to all of this stuff. That's the goal, right? Like to start selling these paintings so I can justify more time spent painting more paintings, you know? The hair on the person on the left is incredible. Really like how you got the freedom of the brush strokes while being such a small space. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have to do a little bit more modeling to it, but yeah, it's not going in and like doing every single hairline and everything is very challenging sometimes. You have trouble painting small like that. I have trouble painting small like that. Like this is not easy. Like I keep messing things up and repainting it, and like believe me, painting faces this small is harder than painting faces, this big. Like without a doubt. Unless you're gonna grab a magnifying glass and a tiny, 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 tiny brush, in which case like maybe I don't know how. I've never tried that. I don't want to try that. I mean, I don't want my paintings to be like that, so I don't even bother. The main thing I'm trying to do, um, no, okay, I take that back. This isn't the main thing I'm trying to do, but one of my goals with my paintings is I want I want to have that like really nice, you know, artistic, artsy, painterly brush strokes and stuff like that, which, you know, is very challenging to do, especially in small spaces like this. The other thing too is one of my favorite artists, his paintings, like when you look at them from across the room and when you look at them from close up, they change. And this is actually a lot of painters that I like, um, because the everything kind of blends together from a distance, but when you get close, it all changes, and then you see all those like juicy brush marks, and sometimes you see that like a whole facial feature will just be like one little mark and that's it. And it's just like, oh, I love that. I want to be able to do that. And it's challenging. It is not an easy thing to do. So, working on it, yeah, it's definitely challenging. And it's funny because it's not just challenging from a technical stance, which it is. It's very challenging from a technical stance, but it's also challenging to like force myself to do that, not to render something out as much as I could. That's also very challenging to do. I'll show you one of my favorite paintings in a little bit if you're still around when I take a break. I one of my favorite paintings that I did is I would say in many ways not the best painting I've ever done, but um, it really pulls off that magic trick, and that's why I like it so much as a painting. It does that. It pulls off that trick of being like, you know, it looks like a decent painting from a distance, and then when you get close to it, you're like, oh man, this thing's a mess. And I'm okay with that. Because I mean, it's like these eyes are not detailed, those aren't like how I would paint eyes, you know what I mean? But normally, right? Like on a big portrait. But when you zoom out, like you're not gonna see this, right? I can barely see it standing in front of it. So that's kind of the idea. And here I'll show you one of my favorite paintings. Face cam. All right, one second. So there we go. This is one of my favorite paintings. And obviously I'm not sure how much you can see on camera. It can be difficult sometimes, but yeah. This is it. There's no nudity, by the way, just FYI, in case anyone's worried about it. Why do I like it? Here's why I like it. So if you're looking at it, right, like I think from this distance, probably what you're looking at, it looks like a woman in a bathtub, probably, um, maybe a little closer, whatever. There's some messiness to it, obviously. But yeah. But let me show you what it looks like up close. Like, she barely has a face, right? I mean, look at this. Like, that's barely eyes, you know what I mean? um, like I said, I don't think this is necessarily my best painting in the world, but I just love the fact that like, I didn't even draw like eyelids properly. I didn't do any of that stuff that I normally would do. But at a distance, you know, at far enough away, you can't even see that, you know. This looks like a painting. Make a 5-foot painting brush? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, there is trying to remember. who was it? Vilpool, I think it was. Uh, he's a art he's a painter or an artist who taught art. Yeah, he has some books too. He had a charcoal or chalk stick that's like a couple feet long. The painter guy named Leonardo Afrem uh Afremov. Paintings are really neat. Big chunky colors. Cool. I'll have to check it out. Absolutely. But yeah, there are some artists who have done that where they have like really long sticks with the paintbrush on it. Um, I don't know that I'm up for that, but you know, maybe one day. Yeah, there's a lot of different what's the word, like not rumors, mythos around different painters and how they did their paintings and so on. Supposedly, what's his name? Uh, Sargent supposedly would stand, you know, far away from his painting, like feet away, and he would have his model like next to it. So, but there would be almost a barrier between the two. So when he steps away, he can see both of them. But then when he goes to paint, he literally cannot see the model as he's painting. So he has to go, put down a couple strokes, come back, mix up the paint, look at the model, look at the back and forth. Nah, did he really do it that way all the time? I have no way of knowing, but yeah. The traditional version of zooming out, absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's very useful to step in and out from your what's it called? From your painting. Oh, Jamie, I see your message now. I'm so sorry I didn't see it earlier on YouTube. That's so funny. I don't know why I didn't see it earlier. Probably because I'm sim simulcasting and there's just too many things to pay attention to. Yeah, probably. I'm working on it. One day I'll have a notification that goes off to let me know that I have messages. Hopefully I'll never have that though. Hopefully I'll get too big and it won't be worth having, but yeah. If you are into painting, by the way, clearly, I mean that's why you're here. Check out Our Painted Lives on YouTube. Nicholas Uribe is an amazing painter, and his live streams, they haven't streamed in a long time, but I'm sure they'll get back to it. Are really good. All right, I'm gonna spend another 15 minutes on this one, then I think I'm gonna switch over to a different painting. Clearly, I haven't finished this one, although I'm really happy with the little kid's face. That one is tough. It was very challenging, and I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, I may go in and do a little more to it, but probably not. It's really good. Oh, thank you. Yeah, but I'm trying to live up to the speed run mentality, so I don't get like bogged down and stuck. So I'm going to switch paintings in a little bit and try to finish another one. like I said, I don't actually think I'll finish any of them like this right tonight, you know, but at least I won't feel like super stuck on one of them, you know. So my best stuff come from just doing something real quick. Oh, for sure, for sure. I definitely agree with that. Um, absolutely. And also, it I feel like sometimes I have the tendency when working on like the final part of a painting at the very end, you know, like this, I have a tendency of spending too much not spending too much time on it because that's not accurate. Wasting too much time on it. Like not getting enough done and not, you know, um yeah, that's what I mean. You spend as much, you know, spending too much time on it. I don't know what that means, but wasting too much time on it, that I do understand. You know, no one can tell you what too much time is on art, but you can definitely tell yourself what wasting too much time on it is. Noodling, absolutely, definitely noodling. Um, for sure. I will say I think streaming while painting um kind of pushes me towards noodling. You know, you noodle when you're don't know what else to do, or maybe I'm trying to figure it out still, but I got to step away at that point if you catch it. Yeah. Well, I definitely think that streaming kind of pushes me towards noodling because, you know, I want to be able to like interact. So there's a degree of like just kind of doing what's comfortable, you know, and sticking to that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, the you're absolutely right. Not knowing what to do can often be a big source of that, and definitely something to catch yourself if you do that. You know, something on the same note. People often ask like, "How do you know when a painting's done?" And I've finally come to an answer. I have an answer for that. Um, Aside from the deadline answer, because that's the like, you know, when the deadline arrives, then it's done. Yeah, okay, that's true. But that aside, like when there is no deadline, how do I know when I've finished a painting? Um, I know a painting's done when I have no idea on how to improve it anymore. Like when I look at it, I'm like, I don't know how to like I can't verbalize what I need to do to improve this painting. It's done. Because if I can't tell you what I need to do, and I can't tell you how to I need to go about it, you know, then there's no way I can execute it, right? I may have an idea that there's a problem somewhere, but not know what it is, in which case I need to figure out what it is before I can work on it. Uh, I'll try and calm down on conversation. It's new stream jitters. Oh, you don't have to worry about that at all. Don't feel obligated to calm down on the conversation at all. I I am putting myself in this position. I know what to expect. Uh, it's absolutely okay. I wish I had more time off stream to paint. I usually do, but lately I haven't. Um, but that's just life. Like sometimes you're busy and you don't have the time. You want to do things. But yeah, that's I'm doing this because I want to. I'm doing this for like numerous reasons. I do really enjoy talking to people. I enjoy connecting with people on stream. It's actually one of my main like social outlets. Um, because I don't go out much. um, by choice. By choice. I'm not. Um, but yeah. So no one, if I need to focus and I feel like I can't talk, trust me, I will just focus and not talk as much. I also notice sometimes when I'm painting, I'll be like, if I'm really focused on a spot, you'll hear this. You'll hear my brain run out of RAM, uh, as it were, because I'll be talking and like my speech will start slowing down while I'm working, and then sometimes I'll just stop mid sentence too because I'm just like really really focused and I just can't like I cannot do the I can't paint and talk at the same time. And then as soon as I like finish putting down the paint, everything comes back online. Tyler's sketches, even with the video, some parts are hard to understand. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the challenge that he's doing. Yeah. I think he did that on purpose, partially. Partially on purpose and partially because he was you know, he did it very rushed, right? I was really surprised that he did it that way. It was so like I feel like he should have not should have. I'm surprised he did that way. I was gonna say he should have, but he shouldn't. He should do whatever he wants. I probably would have done it. I would have drawn it out in advance, is how I would have done it. You did graphic design for 10 years, so interpreting stuff is fine. You just don't want to do something so far from the point. I mean, honestly, I think if you just hit the basic point of let me light this for you, like if you just hit that one point, everything else is kind of open for whatever. I don't think he cares. That makes you feel better? Yeah, hope so. I think he'll also enjoy, like, if people like take it in ways that he wasn't, entirely expecting. I think he'll appreciate that as well. I don't know that that will win. To be fair, I don't know that that will win, but I think he'll enjoy it at least. He was so excited talking about it. I wanted to draw his pages. Yeah, absolutely. You just want him to like it. Yeah, I get that. Same. I'm going to participate in it too, and I'm not going to win. It's fine. I don't I don't care. I just think it'll be fun to do. You just bought his books, so you don't need it. Yeah. Well, he sent me his book. I haven't read it yet, unfortunately. I hope to get to it at some point soon, but I'm so bad with books. Yeah. So I think I mentioned this before, but if I haven't, I'm dyslexic, and that so I'm a very slow reader, and it even if I can like read through a book, the the mental toll it takes sometimes is much higher than like it should be, and so it just wears me out a lot. So I kind of have a tendency to avoid reading too much. I read, but books is more involved than like, articles online type of thing. Even that I sometimes avoid. I'm trying to find good software to like read to me, but that stuff's actually really finding good software for that is surprisingly difficult. I would have thought by now there's great software for that, but yeah. I mean, there's some good ones out there, but they're also expensive. And there is that too. What do you think of his book, by the way? Have you started reading it? I've never read a horror book or anything. You have Amphantasia, so reading kind of sucks. You don't have it yet. Amphantasia. What is Amphantasia? That sounds so familiar. No pictures in your head. Ah. Uh, okay. Does I mean, but you still get the information, right? Like you don't have to see it to enjoy it, I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but yeah, but it's easy to forget. Okay. All right. Time's up. Time to switch paintings. You read graphic novels? Oh, yeah. Well, I get that. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I love comics. I'm getting allergy shots, and I got one today, and oh, it itches so much right now. I used to do book reports in school on graphic novels instead of books, like, traditional books. I mean, I also wouldn't be surprised if he eventually turns his books into graphic novels if he can, you know. Although I will say this, horror graphic novels are really hard to do. They are surprisingly difficult. All right, I forgot I want to eat this before it goes cold. So let me just take this off of my face for a moment. Yeah. You think not knowing that you had it was for the best? I can get that. You would have used it for a crutch. Yeah. It never really impacted you. Just knowing you have it, just made things make more sense. Yeah. I also, I also think, as far as I know, it's a spectrum. Like some people, have better um, ability to see things, in their mind's eye than others, and it's a spectrum. You are zero. That's fair. Fair enough. Here's a question: Do you have uh do you hold on? If I'm tired, I can imagine things. At maybe 5. You have to be very tired though. That's funny. Do you have an internal voice? Yes, you can imagine voices and smells and tastes. Okay, interesting. Except when you got COVID a couple weeks ago, you couldn't imagine taste at all. It was weird. That is weird, actually. That is very weird. Couldn't remember what an apple tasted like. That's so funny. That's actually pretty funny. Not, I mean, I'm sorry for you too, but like you're okay now though. Thank goodness. Yeah. Your cooking suffered. Yeah, I get bet. That's so interesting though. All right, I gotta get new gloves. I try and reuse gloves, but at a certain point, you can't reuse them anymore. You thought so too? Yeah. No, it's super interesting. I think the people who can't, I think I don't know. I almost think that the people who don't have an internal voice is I find that more interesting than like a mind's eye to see things. Uh I don't I don't know. I find that very interesting. Why couldn't you imagine taste after losing your taste and smell? I mean, my assumption would be that the way that the like disease affected you was that it I don't think it affects your taste buds. I don't think it actually affects your taste buds. So if it doesn't affect your taste buds, then it has to affect your brain, right? So then maybe the same part that's like responsible for remembering uses the same part that like accesses it. I don't know. We have a cat, everybody, by the way. We have a cat. Cat alert. Cat alert. Face cam. Come on, face cam. Hi, Winnie. Hi, little girl. Oh, come on. I know you don't like being picked up. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know you don't like being picked up. But people can't see you if you're on the floor. And you're such a pretty little girl. Look at you. Oh, you're so pretty. You're so floofy. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. I know. I know. Angry little girl. I know. She needs to get you. She needs to be, you know, get used to it. Shh. Okay. 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 Yeah, she doesn't like it, but you got to get them used to it. The more you do it, like when we first got her, she was way worse. Like you couldn't pick her up at all. She's much better now. So it's just a, you know, it's a process. You could taste the base of things like salty, sweet, or sour, savory. Interesting. That's so interesting. My mom had COVID and she couldn't taste spicy at all. She could eat the hottest things, didn't affect her at all. Same, no spicy. Yeah, it's interesting. All right, let's get cracking on this one. All right, let me zoom out on the main photo so I can see it for myself. All right. So what do I need to do to this? First things first, oil out. Almost forgot. Need to oil out. I'm going to need more oil. You were trying to test all kinds of things, but you got all your tastes back before you could do more. That's funny. Imagine if you were like, "Oh, I'm going to eat some like ghost peppers or or something." and then you find out you got your taste back right as you try it. I just imagine those, those videos where they like someone messes up and they pause and it's like at this moment they realize they just done fucked up. I could just imagine that. Or what is it? You played yourself? Yeah, that's the one, you played yourself too. There's that one. Yeah, that would be funny. Your tongue still suffered though? Interesting. I can imagine it also your stomach too. Like if you like it could give you, it could mess up your stomach as well. I do wish they could synthesize that aspect of COVID, right? Like I wish they could figure out how that works so that you could take like a pill or get shots to lose your sense of taste temporarily. You had no desire to eat. Hunger was so weird. Yeah, yeah, I bet. It's like you didn't care at all. Yeah, absolutely. I get that. I totally get that. That's why I'm saying like it would be great if they could like, put it into a shot or something so you could have it temporarily, And then when you want your hunger back, you can, your taste buds back, you can go get a or it just wears off, one or the other. I mean, I've had that in a different way. I've taken medication where it like affects my appetite, and so I've had that where like I'll go all day without eating and I'm not even hungry. I don't even feel like I've had it where I've actually felt sick from a lack of eating, but wasn't hungry. Maybe COVID was a secret diet thing gone wrong. Oh no. Oh no, we have a new conspiracy theory. You shall don your foil hat now. Yeah. I'm just trying to think like who would be responsible for that? Like I don't think that the Chinese are so diet obsessed. Big pharma. Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. I mean, they're already behind COVID, so whatever. It's just from a different angle, I guess. By the way, in case anyone's reviewing my channel, that was a joke. I do not think that they are behind big COVID. Just FYI. I'm just going to put that out there. Not taking any chances, you know. I really need to, I don't want to say retire this brush because even splayed brushes have a, you know, can have a purpose, but I really need to put it aside and get a different, like, main brush. It's just like it's starting to splay and the bristles are all kind of like stiff. Uh yeah. It's time. I'm just not doing it, but it's time. You made a paintbrush with your hair last month, lol. Yeah, interesting. Human hair, from what I've seen, doesn't make for a good paintbrush for paintbrushes. You wanted to see how it worked with watercolor? That's fair. Watercolor would probably be the only paint that you could use it with, or ink, maybe. How was it? Did you like it? Are you going to revolutionize the painting industry with your human hair brush line? It holds water really well, but sucks to paint with. Maybe as a wash brush. That's funny. Well, I will say this. The thing is too that like there's a lot more that goes into making a paintbrush. Um, you know, like you might be able to make a decent brush out of human hair. It just there's a lot that goes into it. If you want to see a really cool video, there's a video. I think it's still on YouTube. I watched it on YouTube a long time ago. Um, it's on the it's about Winsor Newton Series 7 brushes, and they go and show the women who make the brushes. Um, and like it's a specialty, like a real specialty kind of job type of thing. Like you have to they literally train for years before they can make the brushes. Yeah, if this was Da Vinci days, it would be fine. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's different. Da Vinci, I think it's so funny. Da Vinci, uh, like some of his paintings are falling apart because he just was experimenting with like how to make paint, because like they didn't know at the time. So they would add all kinds of stuff to it, and then that stuff wouldn't last, and so it just like falls apart over the years. Hi, Winnie. I see that you're back for more attention. I'm sorry that I can't give you the attention you want right now, little girl. I know. I know you only want attention in a certain way, and I just cannot give it to you right now. Like that. I'm sorry. This is why you love art. This speculates the specialties of the craft is so cool. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing too, I think is so interesting. Like there's some artists out there who do like they make amazing art, whatever it is, painting, drawing, whatever. they're just amazing. And it's like I can look at the stuff that they make and I'm just like, this is amazing. I enjoy this. I enjoy looking at this so much. I would never want to make this art though. Okay, you should be able to hear me now, but it probably is going to sound different. Uh, yeah, I had a problem uh, with my lav mic. I wasn't sure if it was going to last the whole stream or not. So I'm using my backup mic right now, which is fine. I'll be honest, I'm getting close to the end of my stream for tonight. But yeah. Yeah, my lav mic for some reason didn't charge. Um, but then it showed that it had enough battery, so I was just like, I was very confused for a moment. I was hoping that, you know, the battery reading was accurate, but it was not. Yeah, I'm gonna be ending stream in a little bit. I'm gonna try and give this like another 10 minutes or so. I think I just want to try and get something done on this painting. Just a little more something, I guess, to be more accurate. But yeah. I'll also be streaming again on Wednesday. Right now, my schedule is Monday night, Wednesday night, and Sunday day. But yeah, it's I wish I had endless energy. Fortunately, I do not. He'll be in Tyler's Discord on and off too. Yeah, I will do that. I will be doing that as well. I did do a art review thing on his Discord, and I was thinking of doing it again at some point. Um, I would do it on my Discord, but I'll be honest, I don't think I have enough people who would be interested on my Discord. My Discord's it's in need of some attention. We'll just put it that way. You feel like you're not good enough to review things? It's tough. Reviewing is very hard, and I will say, people should take reviews very much with a heaping grain of salt, especially from one person. Um, you know, if you're getting the same review over and over and over again, then you got a pattern. Also, you need to take in consideration where who's giving you the review and under what circumstance too. That's always a big part of it. You agree if more people did that, you'd feel more comfortable about sharing your opinion? Yeah, absolutely. But I also think that you shouldn't, obviously, if art review is different on Discord, if people are interested, but yeah, don't just give your opinion on someone's art if they didn't ask for it. All right, I think I'm going to actually end stream now in a minute, but first we have another cat. That's why I'm ending it now because I'm just going to get the other cat and then I'm going to call it a night. I think because it's kind of late. We have Dresden here. Dresden the cat. Dresden, my boy. Oh, that big fluffy boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's such a sweet boy. I'm gonna have to wash my face after this. Okay. Okay, little boy. Enough. That's enough. Oh. Okay, okay. Yeah. Orange cats are infamous troublemakers. Yeah, he is too, and he's also very dumb. He, He's a sweetheart, though, as you can tell, but he's not very bright. He has an interesting mixture of being very curious, but very dumb. Oh, your cat Mochi does this to your poor face all the time. It hurts. It does. Luckily, with the beard, it actually softens a lot of it. Okay, Tristan, I don't know why you're so obsessed with my beard right now. Yeah, he's a lot of fun, though. She tried to get your eye once. You jumped. Oh, without a doubt, I would jump too. I will not let him get close to my eyes. No way. No way, little boy. He'll share another picture of her in Discord. Okay. He loves his tail. Get your tail. Get your tail. He's so cute. I love you, little boy. Okay. All right. I'm going to end the stream here. After some cat love, I'm going to end the stream here. All right. Thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate it. I will be streaming again on Wednesday night. Yeah. And yeah, that's about it. I don't have anything else. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much, and catch you around.